clear it out where they every other week. Yeah. Don't be safe. You know where Ben Hill Road is? Nope. Turn left. Well, there we go. If that was, I'm guessing that.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Leslie Earhart, a Public Information Officer with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Thank you for being here and continuing to cover the search for 5-year-old Summer Wells. Unfortunately, we don't have any significant updates to provide as Summer is still missing, but we did want to share the latest on the investigation and the ongoing search. As you know, she's now the subject of a statewide Amber Alert. She was last seen outside of her home in the 100 block of Ben Hill Road, which is located in the Beach Creek.
David 4701. David 4701. Left over Jimmy.
Yeah, I burnt salt.
David 4701. David 4701. Left over Jimmy. I'll be in the command post, so there'll be a radio where I am. I'll make sure I get back to the
I did. Alpha 101.
figure it out.
We did that the other day. We took everything and put everything. And that's been, what, a week ago?
So are these guys going someplace? They're going to search?
Yeah, they are.
Just want to confirm that. I just wanted to confirm that.
They're using that bus so they don't congest up there with vehicles
Yeah.
and stuff.
It's a tight place up there, isn't it?
Yeah. Everywhere you back roads up here. They just figured it'd be better to make the command post here and then, like I said, shuttle them all one way, and then if you have to, he'll come back and get more.
Yeah. It's like some of them are deploying.
There you go.
This is it. You know where they're going?
They're going to.
Anybody got a friend of mine? Rusty, you got a head count? Good. 15 is what you got. You got one job. Get up there, spread out. That or zigzag, whatever you do.
In the next up, it may take 2 passes to get down the bottom and clear it out where they every other week. Yeah. Don't be safe. You know where Ben Hill Road is? Nope. Turn left. Well, there we go. If that was, I'm guessing that.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Leslie Earhart, a public information officer with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Thank you for being here and continuing to cover the search for 5-year-old Summer Wells. Unfortunately, we don't have any significant updates to provide as Summer is still missing, but we did want to share the latest on the investigation and the ongoing search. As you know, she's now the subject of a statewide Amber Alert. She was last seen outside of her home in the 100 block of Ben Hill Road, which is located in the Beach Creek community of Hawkins County. A family member reported her missing to the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at approximately 6:30 Tuesday evening. At the time she went missing, Summer was reportedly wearing a gray pants and a pink shirt. She is believed to be barefoot. We do want to encourage the public, especially residents living in the area of Ben Hill Road, to check any trail cameras or security cameras that they might have that could have captured Summer on video or in photographs. We also encourage residents to check any crawl spaces, outbuildings, or sheds that would make for good hiding places. As we mentioned, the search is ongoing. There are a number of agencies involved. I'm going to turn it over to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson to talk more about the search and the conditions that authorities are up against. Sheriff?
Thank you. It's been a very intense 21 hours. A lot of searching, a lot of investigation by 19 different agencies. Last night, we had approximately 60 to 80 people searching in the woods, with a number of law enforcement officers doing investigation also. Today, we've had over 100 people in the woods searching throughout the whole region. We also have agents with the CDI and the FBI assisting my office. We jointly investigate this whole circumstance. Our main goal is to find Summer, find her safe. We have plenty of help. We don't need any assistance from the local people. We have the professional people out searching. We just appreciate everybody, their contributions. It's been a tremendous outpour of the community with the water, the food, and the snacks. It's just overwhelming. It's a very intense investigation. I know the public needs to know things, but it's ongoing. We will release things as we can when we can. Our main goal right now is to find Summer.
We'll take a couple of questions, but keep in mind we can't discuss specifics of the investigation.
Can you talk about the area back here, like how the search
Absolutely.
has been and what it looks like for your officers?
It's very dense. The terrain is tremendously hard. We have virtually no cell phone service. The radio system we use, which is not that good, we have very little radio communication. We do have several command posts setting up. But what makes it so hard is the communication between the boots on the ground, searching the woods, different agencies and officers. It's very hard to communicate. We're not like, we're in these small towns or towns where we've got a lot of cell service. Just for instance, when we get texts from media, we may text it, we may get it an hour later, and we have no way to reply. Same way with officers. ECOM, Central Dispatch, has done an excellent job. TBI has their command post. Should arrive soon. And we're going to continue on until we find Summer and this case.
Do you believe there was foul play involved, and is there any history with this family?
The family are cooperating. It's really too early to tell. We're still basically gathering information, and we're in the search mode right now.
When the Amber Alert
switched from missing child alert to an Amber Alert, what goes into the decision of putting that Amber Alert out? Can you clarify the difference between the two?
Sure. After the initial search and as we developed more information as part of the investigation, our team made the decision to elevate the alert to an amber.
And what's the difference between those two alerts?
An endangered child alert is a mid-level alert where a child could potentially be a danger. An amber alert is the issue goes when the child is in imminent danger of bodily harm or death, and it's the most severe.
Since it appeared to be that she walked away from the home, why was it upgraded to an Amber Alert? Can you clarify that just a little bit more?
Well, the bottom line is we don't know where she is at this time. Again, there was the initial search. We acted, and the sheriff's office acted on the information available at the time. And as we learned more in the first several hours into today, it led us to issue an Amber Alert.
Well, when the Amber Alert was issued, you said there was new information that led you to believe that Summer might be in more danger. Can you expand on that a little bit?
I can't. That's part of the investigation.
And we know that the
Sheriff
FBI.
Lawson mentioned earlier that he's asking the community folks that you have enough resources here. What's your message to the community that they feel like they want to help in some regard? How can they help at this time?
If they see something or know something, they need to tell somebody. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't want to get involved. They want to apply to us. It's not anonymously, that's fine. As long as we find something, that's the main thing right now. And we're talking about the Amber Alert. If they raise that up another level, that helps more people paying more attention, get more clues, you get more calls, and then everybody can call that 1-800 TBI find, and it all goes into a database, which helps us in an area where we don't have a lot of communication anyway. So TBI helps us with that.
And we know that the FBI was called in fairly early. Can you kind of explain why that decision was made?
Well, we have an excellent relationship working together. And just like if this case stands outside of Hawkins County, then you have the TBI to help with that. If it expands on out past the state of Tennessee, then you got the FBI. So we're all on the same page. We just keep on going. We're just working together as a team. All have the same goal. Let's find something.
One more question.
Can you expand on maybe just the area where you guys are searching? Maybe if people see something in a certain area, they should be on a heightened alert if they're in a certain area or part of town.
Well, the train stuff is like you see here. This is what people are searching in. But if they seen something yesterday evening or afternoon that we need to know, that's when they need to make the call about the command post.
Any kind of landmarks and sort of an area that you're searching specifically, or just everywhere?
Around Big Hill Road in that area. That's the main. She's 5 years old and she left the house. Evidently, she got a little farther than expected.
Do you have any idea how much territory your volunteers and searchers are covering?
A lot. We have so many out there that they've broadened the scope. Plus, we've been able to utilize aircraft. THP's been wonderful with their helicopters and medical helicopters. THP's FLIR at night. They've been flying today. And it's just outstanding how the community's come to help us, plus all the different resource agencies and the rescue squad, EMSs, and all the law enforcement. And we just hope that we have a great result when we find something.
Have you gotten any leads?
At this time, we're following up on any and all leads. Again, thank you for being here. We encourage the public to call in any credible information to 1-800 TBI find, and we continue to hold out hope for the best possible outcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Leslie Earhart with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. We had hoped to have good news to share with you by now, but unfortunately, we did not. The search for 5-year-old Summer Wells remains ongoing. Today, teams continue to search the area around Bend Hill Road, and officers and agents continue to follow up on any leads that come in. Many have asked how they can assist with the search. At this time, we are not asking for volunteers to assist. What we are asking is for residents to continue to share photos of Summer and information from credible sources. We know you have a lot of questions about the search area and the process. For that reason, Sheriff Lawson has arranged for Captain Tim Coop to elaborate on those efforts. He's with the Churchill Rescue Squad and is serving as the incident commander of ground search operations. Tim?
Thank you, Leslie. As Lowe's elaborated, I wish we could have better news than we do now. From notification of Miss Summer going missing, we have implemented several methods of search and rescue. With most of these that we continue to do, we've utilized ground crews of 80 to 100 people of trained professionals, aerial aviation search, both visual and FLIR, medical THB and TBI assisting us with fixed wing, multiple drones, and 4 different canine units. The day that she went missing, we searched from the time of notification until dark. We searched all day yesterday, resumed this morning, continue on throughout the rest of our operational period, utilizing multiple ground crews, drones, fixed wing, and also helicopter with K9s on standby. Some of the issues we're encountering with this search is the steep and dangerous terrain. With this steep and dangerous terrain, we're also experiencing, as you see behind us, very dense canopy coverage, including very dense ground cover, causing search efforts to become very difficult, taking extra time to cover these areas adequately, exhausting teams a lot quicker, in turn causing longer for these grounds to be covered, allowing those teams for recovery and rehab. Currently covered at this time at 1 mile from the residence last seen by ground and dog. Hopefully by the end of the day, we will have recovered 2 ground miles, assisting with THP, expanding theirs to a minimum of 4 miles aerial aviation searching. As she stated, residents in this area, everybody continues to ask, well, if she wandered off, why did somebody not see her? This part of the community, the residents are very spread out. Some being from one hilltop to the other hilltop, or at the start of a road, and you may go a mile back before you ever get to another residence. So making that very difficult for residents just to be able to be at home, outside working or something, notice her leaving that area. As we continue, we will continually assist Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, TBI, and FBI with this search as long as they deem necessary. And as Leslie stated, at this time, we are not asking for any public and or volunteers to assist in the search. A lot of people wonder why. Due to the extreme terrain, the nature of this, trying to locate her, trained professionals is what we need at this time to make sure that these residents don't become endangered and turn around and expand this issue with having to search for somebody else. Thank you.
As we've stated before, the circumstances surrounding Summer's disappearance remain unclear. So if we do develop information that she was taken, if we develop a suspect and vehicle description, of course, we will share that with the public and media. At this time, that's just not the case. So we'll take a couple of questions. And I'll offer Sheriff Lawson an opportunity to say anything if he wants to.
What time was she last seen, and who reported her missing in the family?
Her parents reported her missing around 6:30 p.m.
But when was did they say when she was last seen? I know that she was reported missing around that time, but was she last seen earlier in the afternoon or in the day even?
That time is varied because they were searching for their child themselves.
I have a question for Captain Coop. Just wanted to see, are you asking for assistance from other agencies? I know yesterday you all mentioned 19 agencies helping out with the quick turnover in personnel. It sounds like that are searching. Are you all looking for other agencies in surrounding counties to help? And what is the hours that you all are searching?
Yes, so hours of operation this time are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We have, like Leslie stated yesterday, we have utilized at this time 19 different agencies throughout the state of Tennessee. We also have multiple agencies outside of our jurisdiction in burning states, and also expanding to Middle Tennessee to having these teams on standby.
You talked about getting tips. Can you give me an idea of the magnitude of tips that you've gotten so far? And with the amount of time that's passed, is there concern, that it's less likely to find the longer it goes?
Of course, the longer this goes, the more concerned we get. At this stage, we've received nearly 50 leads. None have panned out so far.
50?
Yes, approximately 50 at this point.
Who does Summer live with, and is there any history with this family with law enforcement or anything that you're aware of?
Summer lived with her parents and 3 siblings.
Are these her biological parents, mother and father?
Is there any history of your office going to their home? Is there any history of your office going to their home or anyone in the home? Is there any criminal history within family members?
The father has a criminal history.
Can you elaborate on that?
I don't have it with me.
Is any of the family persons of interest?
Everybody's a person of interest till we find something. The most important thing is find something. That's what it's all about. That's why we're doing ground searches, aerial searches, and finding her is first and foremost.
Are you concerned that this could be an abduction at this point after so much time has passed?
Everything's on the table. I mean, we're looking at everything, crossing every T, dotting every I, and turning every stone. That's why we have 2 different operations. Captain's operations, search and rescue. Law enforcement operation is look into this incident, find something.
Is the father's criminal record relevant in this investigation?
No, sir.
No. Okay.
I've also heard there's been speculation of the siblings in the household. Just wasn't sure if you're able to elaborate on the siblings at all.
They have 3 others besides Summer.
Older, younger, brothers,
Older.
sisters.
Older.
One more question, guys. Anybody have another question? Okay.
I had a question. We've heard about issues with communications between search teams regarding lack of cell coverage as well as the radios. Could you elaborate on that? What those issues have been and how they've impacted the search?
Well, Captain, he can relate to that as far as law enforcement. We can't hardly communicate at all on the radios, and cell phones are out of the question. But thanks to AT&T and Verizon, he can tell you about that. They've been a big help to us. Go ahead.
Elaborate on that real quick. AT&T and Verizon both have bought cell phone service boosters to our command post to help try to utilize cell phone coverage, which is still very spotty for most of the area. Radio communication between ground crews and also aerial aviation has been very difficult due to the state that our radio system's in at this time. For ground crew operations, we're having to utilize anywhere from 4 to 6 different radio channels to make sure we have the coverage where everybody's accounted for.
Just real quick, when you said that the search area you'd covered was about a mile, did you mean a square mile or a radius around the residence?
That is going to be a radius from around the residence, from the last point of her household.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for being here. Just to clarify, ground search efforts end around 8 o'clock. However, if we do receive any phone calls giving us a credible lead, we do follow up on those leads throughout the night. Thanks for being here. Any updates will be posted on our Twitter feed, and we'll update you again as soon as we have something available. Thank you.
I would be interested in knowing what happened that day. I know it's going to be hard for me to have to relive, but...
Well, sir, I was at work, but from what my wife has told me and stuff, her and her mother and Summer were planting flowers by her grandma's trailer, which is about, 20 feet from the house there, real close to the house. And Summer all of a sudden said, "Mom, I want to go in the house." So she said, "Fine." And her brothers were in there watching YouTube. And so she watched her walk in the door and went in there. And then she went in there, and her brother said that she was going to go downstairs and play with her toys. So she went downstairs, and then Mom come in and says, "Where's Summer?" Well, she's downstairs playing with her toys. And they hollered for her, and there was no answer. So she went down the stairs, and she was nowhere to be found. She went out the basement door. The door was unlocked, but she's never left the area. She might be on the other side of the house, because I went out there before and called for her. She come out from behind the house, because she just has to be outside. She's an outside type of person, But she was gone, buddy. And my wife called me, and I said, "Hang up for me and call 911 right now." And I was at work, and I called 911, threw all my tools that I could in the vehicle, and from Jonesboro, I come out. I made it out here before anybody because I was freaking out, And when I got home, I drove to the bottom property, and I realized that all my neighbors and stuff were combing the woods looking for her, and I realized right then and there that she was not there. I knew right then and there that she was gone. I just, because she would never leave there on her own. Somebody had taken her out.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is she capable of going through? They've covered miles of area to search.
No, she would never leave because for one thing, we have bears and wild dogs, and we got druggies that, come around other people's houses and stuff, all hours of the night. But this was like at 5:30 in the evening, which makes me think, someone was laying in wait. I've heard somebody say that these people track kids down on Facebook and find them, and I've heard that story. I mean, I don't know, but all I know is she's definitely not anywhere around there. I think somebody's abducted her and took her out of the area.
Wow. Well, have you noticed anybody suspicious?
No, and they've done such a good job. They followed every single lead possible. They have tracked down all kinds of people. Yeah, they've tracked down everybody. They even, had me in there, lie detector test on all 9 yards.
They have to rule out every possibility.
Yes, absolutely. So it didn't bother me to do it whatsoever. I understand that. And a lot of times the parents are responsible.
It's recent history that's been the case. Or like a family member.
Right, absolutely, yes. But we don't associate with all them people. We try to associate with church people and stuff like that, and Summers, they got a lot of friends in church that just love her to death,
Where do y'all go to church?
Seventh-day Adventist, right across the street from Walmart, there in Kingsport.
Oh.
Yeah, we was going to the Baptist church, but when I found out the true Sabbath on Saturday, I wanted to go to a Saturday going church, so I thought I'd go check them out one time, and we've been there ever since.
Oh, wow. What have you all been doing while this has all been going on?
Just trying to cope. With everything.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the police. I can't be alone right now for some reason, and so if I have to, I'll go down there and talk to the police and just hang out with them, because I just can't be alone right now. I don't know.
How are Summer's brothers doing?
They're coping with it better than me and their mother are. I don't understand that, but when they really think about it, they're upset, but they're coping with it way better. Especially the youngest one. It's like I don't know. It's weird to me, but
maybe it doesn't seem real to them.
Yeah. But me, the most I've done is watch the news a little bit. I can't focus on nothing. Originally I'm from Utah, and I met my wife in Arkansas, and we come out here to help my mother because she got sick, and then she ended up dying from, I can't remember what it's called, but anyways, but she left us that property, and we've been there ever since.
Okay.
We've made Tennessee our home. There's a lot of good people here.
When did y'all move here?
About 13 years ago from Arkansas. I was about to help my mother because she was in need.
So your kids, this has been their only home then?
Yes, sir.
Born and raised?
Yes, sir. Well, except for my oldest one. He was born in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the rest, I think, the rest were all born here, yes.
And does your wife have a Wisconsin connection?
Yes. Well, her sister, my wife's sister come up missing, like, I don't remember how many years ago it was, but they never found no trace of her either.
Where was that?
I don't know. I really don't know. They never pay attention to any of that part of it.
Yeah. Do you know where she grew up in Wisconsin?
I sure don't. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I have a criminal history. I do, when I was in Utah, when I was younger, but I've turned my life around, doing my best to be a commandment keeper, for sure. Okay. Me and myself, they can do whatever they want to me as long as my kids are safe, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and so what is your plan now? I mean, what is your outlook?
Well, my only plan now is just, no matter what happens, either way, I'm stay in church, be a commandment keeper, and wait for the resurrection day, buddy.
Yeah.
That's all we can all do,
Do you have hope for Summer being found?
Well, I have hope, but, statistically speaking, or looking at it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A tough thing to think about.
Well, yeah, of course. I'd feel for anybody in that position. I'm sure you would too.
Absolutely.
Any kid that's being tortured or hurt in any way, and missing their parents and their good friends in church and stuff like that. Just unimaginable what she's going through.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I pray for is for peace for her somehow. I wish she could have got to know Jesus better or something, but she's so young. She don't know what all that stuff means in church, but
I don't think God holds that against children.
Oh no, not at all. I just wish she had peace of mind. That's all.
Yeah. Do you have any hope that this is all going to end well?
Well, I have hope, buddy, but you look at the statistics of it all. Through our church and other churches, the worldwide prayer, was going on for her. So, plus all the law enforcement agents are praying, and everybody, we're just hoping that God will turn it around, somehow, some miraculous way. But
Okay. All right. Well, I know I'm taking up a lot of your time, and I really appreciate you talking to me.
You're fine, buddy. Thank you so much.
Take care, and I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for your family.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Leslie Earhart with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. We can't thank you enough for your continuing coverage and helping us get the word out about Summer. Before I turn it over to Captain Coop, I want to reiterate that there are two aspects of this investigation: the search and the investigation itself. You've heard a lot about the search because that's something we can elaborate on. What you haven't heard a lot about is what's happening outside of the search. Rest assured that agents and Hawkins County detectives are investigating this fully. All avenues are being explored. As of this afternoon, we've received approximately 85 tips. Agents and officers continue to follow up on each lead that comes in. At the same time, teams continue to search the area around Ben Hill Road for any sign of Summer. Captain Tim Coop is with the Churchill Rescue Squad. He's currently serving as the incident commander for ground search operations. He's going to talk about the status of the search and the specialized teams being utilized today.
Thank you, Leslie. Once again, I wish we could bringing you guys better news, but at this time, on the search side of operations, we have no further new news. The following methods are continuing to be used today to try to locate Summer. Ground crews comprised of over 100 trained professionals. Aerial and aviation being completed by helicopter and fixed-wing aircraft, multiple canines, and also utilizing a specialized advanced mapping. The following new methods of search being utilized today are dive teams, hazardous and extreme terrain search teams, subject matter experts, We have deployed the state TAC and radio system to increase radio coverage for search and law enforcement efforts. USAR, the urban search and rescue teams, and also have deployed state and federal resources. At this time, we have a total of 41 agencies involved in being represented in the search for summer whales. We have, at the completion of search efforts as of yesterday, the 17th, we have covered 688 acres of ground of extreme terrain. We're on the track to completing a total of 1,000 acres of land covered thoroughly by the completion of today's search efforts. Once again, as we have stated, we are still experiencing steep and dangerous terrain, which causes our teams to become exhausted very quick. We are and will continue to work with and alongside local, state, and federal search and law enforcement agencies to locate summer whales, which is our ultimate mission to complete. Thank you. I'll now hand it over to Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson.
First of all, I want to thank y'all for coming. We are amazed at the amount of attention this has. A lot of it because of you all, but we are monitoring all social media. We are just overwhelmed with the support of the community. I've been in law enforcement almost 44 years, and I've never seen an outpour of a community support any other cause, because they know it's all about finding something. We have a lot of people praying. We have a lot of people with boots on the ground. Just like Leslie said, we have 2 investigations going, and I can assure you that the investigation on part of law enforcement is extremely intense, just like the boots on the ground and all the searching going on, coordinated by captains here. It's very hard. Volunteers are great. And we really don't need the general public. As the captain said, we've got trained professionals in the woods. We know exactly where they are, how they're doing. They check on them routinely. We know how many is out there, who's out there, and we know when they come back. If the general public helps, then we will not know they're out there. We could lose somebody else. We're still wanting people to call 1-800-TBI-FIND for information. Any they have. Like I said yesterday, everything's on the table. We're trying to find exactly what happened to this young lady, and we're not going to stop until we find her.
Does anybody have any questions? We'll take a couple.
Yes, I have a question for Captain Coop. In speaking with dive teams, what are you guys actually doing with them? Is that searching ponds, creeks, lakes? Could you just elaborate a little bit more on what that search has looked like? We talked about ground material.
Yes. So our specialized teams that spoke on, the USAR, the dive teams, as both Sheriff Roy Lawson and Leslie spoke, we are pursuing every avenue. We're covering every ground cover. We're covering every aspect. At the end of it, if we don't cover it, we have to cover everything 100%. We're utilizing them just to clear waterways and areas that we can't put our other people into, the canines and stuff that aerial cannot see that well. We want to get in there, flip every rock, check every crevice, check every spot, just to make sure we don't miss it.
Are there a lot of streams back in this area or ponds?
Yes.
Can you give us, I know we can kind of see some of the lush vegetation and what's happening in the sky, but what's it like back there for you all?
Yes, there are numerous streams and creeks that run back out of the mountains on both sides of Beach Creek Road, along with Beach Creek itself. And there are lots of ponds, holding spots for livestock and other things that we feel are just as important as the rest of the search efforts.
Sheriff, I have a question for you as far as the investigation goes. I know you probably can't comment on a whole lot, but are you able to say if you've executed any search warrants during this time?
Actually, we've done a tremendous amount of searches, and every one has been a consent search. The community has really stood out. They want to help. They want to give advice, give information. Not everything on one search. Be part of everybody in the community.
And Leslie, I know you talk about credible tips. Can you kind of go into what is a credible tip?
If you have information about Summer, if you saw Summer the day she went missing, anything like that, you captured a photo on a trail camera or surveillance camera, that's a credible tip. Anything that would assist us. something you see on social media that you know is somebody's opinion or just speculation, that's not a credible tip. In fact, that just bogs law enforcement down by having we have to go through and check that information and then mark it off. So please, credible tips, we welcome information, but just don't share speculation and rumors that you see on social media.
I have a question. I'm kind of reluctant to ask it, but is there a point in this search when you all will come to the conclusion that this is not a lost child anymore, that this is possibly an abduction? Is there an amount of time or amount of territory?
Well, at this time, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance are very much under investigation. So currently, it's an active and ongoing investigation. We're not going to stop until we determine what happened to her, and we're just taking it one day at a time.
What has the interaction been like with the child's parents? I know that they've spoken with us on and off the record about interactions with law enforcement, mentioning polygraph tests and so forth. Can you speak to us a little bit about the interaction with the parents and how they've helped or not helped with the investigation?
All I can say in that aspect is that they're currently cooperating.
When we also spoke with Mr. Wells, he mentioned some leads being followed up on local sex offenders as well as people in this area who occupy drugs. Can you confirm those details and whether those leads have been actually followed up?
I cannot. I can just tell you that any information we have, any lead that comes in, we're going to follow up on that, and all avenues are being explored.
How are crews feeling right now? Again, back to Captain Coop and Sheriff Lawson. How are they handling this right now, especially with we've kind of seen an increase in temperature outside?
So, as stated before, the outpouring of community and businesses in this area, they are very limited on the time. Once they get certain areas of covered, they are being required to come back to the command post and staging area to rehab. Plenty of water, Powerade, Gatorade, food, protein bars, stuff to keep them hydrated and nourished during this whole entire time. And as one stated before I left, they are also 100% involved. They said we will not stop.
As far as the law enforcement aspect, you know, we have the TBI system in my office and the FBI, and it's a partnership and a joint operation where if somebody comes in with a tip, just whichever agent standing there, whichever officer, whether it's mine, one of the TBI or FBI agents, if they jump on it, doesn't matter who solves the case, whatever, we just want to find Summer. That's first and foremost.
More questions?
I actually have one last question regarding something that the father told us yesterday. He was saying that she would never leave their sort of hill where they live, and he highly believes that this is an abduction. Is there anything that you can say that maybe could point to that? He mentioned something about the canines going along a trail that runs dead. So is there anything that you guys have seen that proves this, or is there any sign that that may be true?
We're exploring all avenues. So at this time, we can't confirm that. However, in the event that we do develop that information and confirm it was an abduction and have information to share, you will be the first to know. And we want to reassure the community that we will let them know immediately. That's information that we would want to get out to the public as quickly as possible. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you being here. We'll continue to update you as updates become available. Thank you.
We still got our God, and we still, he's, I mean, you know what I mean? He's got to put our faith and trust in him. He's the only one that knows where she's at.
Right. Well, I guess I just wanted to ask a couple of quick questions about, since we last spoke, have there been any new developments or any changes in
No, not at all.
And I saw where Friday night after sundown they called everybody back.
Yeah, there was some sort of tip or something that we seen, you know, blue lights up and down Beach Creek, and the helicopter flew till like 4 in the morning, looking around, you know, so we was up till 4 in the morning being hopeful that they, you know, find something, but there's nothing. My personal opinion is it's maybe some human trafficking ring seen her on Facebook and tracked her down, like some kind of, that somebody is taking her out of the area, and I don't know whether a human trafficking ring or what or who, but I mean, I knew from the first day she wasn't in the area.
Right. Well, did you guys go to church on Saturday?
Yes, sir.
What was that like? Did you guys? I mean, this is the first time you've been back since this happened.
Yeah, when we first, we got there at 9:00, and they had a vigil for summer, and they had all kind of pictures up on the screen, and when the summer run around that whole church and visited everybody, and so when we first went in there, we both broke down. Of course, me and my wife broke down, and we had to go outside. But they've been very supportive, of course, and everybody has. Law enforcement's been very supportive and very good to us. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was just missing summer. I wish she could be there.
Yeah.
The thoughts of her not being able to be there with us and with the people that she loves so much, it was heartbreaking.
Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're fine. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, I was just going to see. One thing I neglected to ask you last time we spoke was just, can you tell me a little bit about Summer? What kind of a child is she? What is she like?
Well, I have a video, and it's on TikTok. That the last video that my wife made of her, and she's got a couple more, and I really like to share them with the public. Okay, but I don't know how to do that. Yeah.
You could. Are we allowed to go up to your house now?
No, but I could get her maybe to meet you at the church, but she don't want to do no interviews because everybody's turning this into, I don't know if you guys have been reading Facebook, stuff like that, but there's some pretty negative stuff on that. Yeah. And they're calling her the Boswell something. I can't remember what it was exactly, but that's pretty bad.
I guess, that's another thing I was going to ask you is and I don't think that the media has been disrespectful, and I have tried not to be. But I know that in this age of social media, which we're probably close to the same age, and we didn't grow up like this, but in this age of social media, everybody can get online and say anything they want. And I was just wondering how that has affected you and your family. Are you trying to stay away from it, or have you read it?
My wife can't help us to be on there because she's looking for clues. Yeah. She can't help it. Right. But this negativity, is tearing her apart. That's why she don't want to do any interviews, because she's afraid they lash out on her even more.
Yeah. I don't follow it as close as I should. What kind of things are they saying?
They're calling her I can't remember, the Boswell something, but I can't remember what it was. They're comparing her to that, and just all kind of negative stuff.
How does that make you feel when you see that kind of stuff?
Well, to me, I just hang on to, I hang on to what good people say. I don't listen. We've been dealing with, even in Tucker Drywall, we deal with all kinds, and and of course I've been to prison. I try to I try to be around good people. I listen to what they say and what God says. The rest of them can, what?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's got to be hard on your wife though to have to see that stuff.
She's not taking it well. She's having a hard time. She's up and down, and then she really is. She needs some support, and of course they're not. Our church members try to come up there, and they're just not letting anybody up there.
Right. And I guess you guys are. I don't know what that road looks like, but if it's anything like where I grew up, it's pretty spread out. Up a holler. Not a lot of close neighbors to talk to.
They've been all through there with a fine tooth comb.
Yeah.
Several times over. She's not in the area.
Yeah. I just can't imagine who would be bold enough to go up a holler, a blind holler that, unless they had done some research or something and knew what they were looking for. And then have to time it right.
history, stuff. But, your mind has a way of forgetting every now and then. I find myself doing it too. Every now and then but then it comes flooding all back, of course,
Yeah.
I might get away from it for about 15, 20 seconds, but it'll all come back. That's the first thought on my mind when I wake up.
Well, do you remember what your last memory was of Summer? What you all were doing?
Probably the night before, she wanted to twirl. She wanted me to. I just hold her my hand while she twirled, because that's what she considered herself a ballerina or a princess kind of thing. 5 years old.
Yeah. She likes to dance. I saw that video of her dancing in the rain. That was real cute.
That's the video I was wanting to get out. She asked if at all possible.
Okay.
I'd like everybody to see that.
Are you working today?
I'm trying to. I'm here talking with my employers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see how you could. I wouldn't be able to work under these circumstances. It's too much.
Yeah, it is. It's too much, but I'm just trying to have hope and faith in God that He knows all things and that He will protect her. Is my hope and prayer.
Yeah.
Wherever she's at, and that He will turn it all around someday. To glorify His name. That's what my prayer is. I mean, Daniel was led into captivity, and I don't know. He trusted in God the whole way, all the way through it all. Even to the point of being put into the fiery furnace. Right? He was willing to do that for his God, and that's the only thing I can, lean to is people like him, and maybe she's got enough experience in the church that she'll never forget it, and maybe that will lead her back home someday. That's my prayer.
Was there anything that was said at church or any kind of fellowship that gave you a little bit of comfort on Saturday?
Oh yeah, all kind of stuff like that. Yes, sir. I can't remember specifically, but just I don't know, just having good people there for you. It's a comfort. People willing to talk to you. That's the main thing.
Right.
All I can do is put it in God's hands a little.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess that's all I was going to ask you about, unless there's something else that you wanted the public to know about what's going on.
No, just
does your family need anything? Because I know it's probably hard for you to get out and get necessities and stuff.
No, we are absolutely fine as far as that goes. Everybody takes the searchers and the police, all kind of stuff, and they've been bringing us a lot of that stuff to our house. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been really good. Okay. Really good. Just appreciate everybody for their efforts. That's all I really do. Because I know they're trying hard.
Did they really ramped it up this weekend, didn't they? They brought in a lot more people.
Yeah, and they're not stopping. They're not stopping. But I just, feel that she's not in the area, and they know that. But they still have to search.
I think, maybe they could find a clue or something too of who was out there. That might be another.
They're still looking for 2 more people of interest that have been through there.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What kind of people are those?
I have no idea for sure. And a lot of this might be speculation, because I tried to ask them about it, and they just say we're looking into it. Just hang on. And they won't give them any information to higher ups, and I can't. I try to help and everything, and I can't do nothing that they ain't doing already.
Right. Okay. Well, I continue to pray for you, and my wife prays for you. We know this has got to be the most horrible time, and it's just like it's unimaginable.
Good afternoon. I'm Leslie Earhart with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. In just a minute, you're going to hear from Hawkins County Sheriff Lonnie Lawson. followed by Captain Tim Coop with the Churchill Rescue Squad. Summer is still missing, and we are more concerned than ever and desperate to find her. TBI agents continue to work with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and the FBI in an effort to determine what happened to Summer. We are utilizing all available resources to include the FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team. We want to reiterate that the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance remain unclear, which is why we've been exploring all possibilities. Agents and detectives have followed up on a number of leads, to include residential surveillance video and photos from around the area of Summer's home. Drivers seen in the area at the time of her disappearance have been identified and interviewed. While we've not ruled out an abduction, we simply do not have any evidence at this point to confirm that's what occurred. For that reason, the ground search for Summer continues. It's possible that she wandered off and is lost and afraid. Sheriff Ronnie Lawson is going to talk more about what we need from property owners at this point. Sheriff?
Thank you. First of all, I want to let everyone know that what a big asset that Mount Carmel Baptist Church has been to us. They've opened their doors to the church, the fellowship hall, and land. As y'all see, this is a very remote area. We would be in desperate trouble if we didn't have that place to set up our command post. With that said, using every available resource that we have today, I want to use you all. I want the word to get out to all the residents in Upper Beach Creek Union, Hawkins County, and Sullivan County. We need the residents to go back today, tonight, tomorrow, as soon as possible, go back and check their entire property, any outbuildings, any barns, any place a child can hide. We desperately need you to do that for us. It's easier for you to check your own property than it is to send officers there. We have not stopped. Captain will tell you, we've been 24/7 for 6 days now. So we desperately need help from the community now searching their own property. Good question. Yeah.
Thank you, Sheriff. As both of them have stated, we will continue to search for Summer Wells until we locate Summer Wells. As of June 21st, 2021, search and rescue efforts for missing 5-year-old Summer Wells will continue throughout the day and also the night. At this point, we have utilized 72 agencies from Tennessee, Ohio, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina assisting in these search efforts. Numerous specialized search and rescue groups and canine teams have been represented from these multiple different agencies. To date, we have estimated approximately 2,400 acres have been searched since Tuesday night when she was reported missing. The rugged mountainous terrain continues to cause problems and slow the search operations at times. The search will continue Tuesday morning into Wednesday morning. An updated release will be issued as new information becomes available. And as stated before, if anyone has any information on the disappearance of Summer Wells, please contact Hawkins County Sheriff's Department and or 1-800-TBA-FIND. Thank you.
We'll open it up for a few questions at this time.
Just wondering, has Summer ever wandered off before?
According to family members, it's not common for her to wander off.
Saturday, there was a pretty extensive search into the evening. Can you elaborate on what that tip was and why there was such a large presence for crews to come back out?
Anytime we have information that could potentially lead us to locating Summer, we're going to use all resources. Crews were in the area following up on a lead. Unfortunately, Summer's still missing.
How is the changing weather impacting your searches?
Sure. That's a great question. Captain Coop, can you explain?
So the projected forecast here for the next 24 to 48 hours will change our approach. It will not change our aggressive approach. The only thing that this will change, it will change maybe what terrain we approach at this time. due to severe thunderstorms, we can't put our teams in danger to turn around and maximize the situation. We are monitoring weather 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with live weather updates. We are also utilizing the National Weather Service, who calls us on a routine basis. If there's any type of weather that's approaching our immediate area, they have been more than helpful with notifying us in a very timely manner to allow us to know so we can plan on how we're going to approach these areas.
Talking about the weather, is there a concern about some of these crews from other areas having to go back to their area to respond to storms there?
Speaking with some of these teams, especially the teams that have been coming out of state, traveling 4+ hours, they also have had to do what we've had to do is utilize as much resources as we can to find summer wells, but we still have to be able to cover our areas. So a lot of these people, they're still allowing people to stay back. When these crews from out of town then return, they'll swap out. Those crews will then monitor their areas and send us fresh crews, and we are doing the same thing for our resources here locally.
Do we know when the active search will potentially turn into a recovery mode instead of the potential rescue mode?
Well, let's elaborate on that.
We will address that at some point, but right now our focus remains on finding summer. We're using all resources as of today, and we want that to be the focus right now.
This is a question more for maybe Leslie and Sheriff Lawson. You just mentioned that you have used some surveillance video, things that you had asked for earlier in the week. Can you elaborate what you saw in that surveillance video and how that might have helped you?
Well, as you know, and you guys helped us get the word out, we asked residents to let us know if they had surveillance cameras around their home or trail cameras. Residents have reached out. We've reviewed those photos and video, and if we identified a vehicle in the video, we would identify the driver and then speak with the driver to interview them to see if they had any information.
How long, when someone typically goes missing, how long does it take to find? Is this exceptionally long?
Every case is different. It's a case-by-case situation.
On day 6 now, for maybe the folks that are out there in the field, how are you keeping, I guess, morale and spirits? How are, I'm sure folks are tired, have been out here tirelessly for days on end now. How are you kind of keeping folks engaged and spirits up?
Ultimately, the people that's involved with the search operations, we all have the same outlook. We will not quit until we find summer wells. So these guys have spent countless hours, day in, day out, nighttime. The thing that I stress with my guys is if you're getting to the point that you're getting tired, please take a break, get rest, rehab, recover. That way you can come back and continue to go stronger. It is a large family with law enforcement involved. We keep each other's spirits up. It's all a team effort. And to elaborate on it, a lot of times you guys being up and you start seeing a lot of people leave at the evening time. At the evening time, it is too treacherous and too dangerous unless TBI or Sheriff's Department gets a lead that they need us to go help assist on. Too dangerous for us to keep our guys up in these mountains in this treacherous terrain at nighttime. But I want you guys to know, and rest assured, along with the community, that search efforts do not stop when it gets dark. We have been utilizing fixed wing and aerial aviation to literally scan this area from the time it gets dark to the time that we return in the morning. It does not quit. They utilize multiple resources, FLIR, and other things to continually map this area and to continue to search for somewhere else.
This is a question more for Sheriff Hawkins, or Lawson, I'm sorry. I know we've talked a lot about there's 2 different operations going on, Find Summer as well as the investigation. Is there more on the investigation side that you can tell us into anything that you've talked with family members or anyone who last saw her since we last spoke on Friday?
We've interviewed so many people in the community on the road, and we're still jointly working with TBI and the FBI. Everything's really going real well. We cover each other's tracks, go back and re-interview. And like Captain said, basically we're not going to stop this something.
How is her family doing? I mean, this is going into day 7. Tomorrow will be day 7 since their child has gone missing and no leads in this massive search operation. How is her family holding up? Have you spoken with her parents? How are they doing?
we've spoken with her parents. I can't speak for them. They spoke with you. They're being cooperative. Of course, they're upset. So we continue to keep them updated and do whatever possible we can to find Summer. And we just ask everyone in the community, especially those of you who have any tidbit of information that you haven't shared, to please come forward. Her family asks that as well.
And last week, you also talked a little bit about speculation and social media rumors. Has that continued to get worse over the weekend? And is that continuing to maybe even cause hindrances?
Sure, it's always a battle. We ask residents with credible information to call 1-800-TBI-FIND and submit tips through that avenue. We find that we're receiving a lot of tips that is a screenshot from Facebook. It's an opinion or speculation. That's not a credible tip, and it just bogs down the system, as I've mentioned before. So please only share credible information. Someone's opinion or idea on Facebook is not a credible tip. That's your question.
That was nice.
Okay.
Has the family been ruled out? I know they said that they understood you investigating them and interviewing them. Have they been ruled out at this time? Still?
As we've said time and time again, the circumstances surrounding to Summer's disappearance are very much under investigation. And at this time, we continue to explore all possibilities. Okay. Thanks for coming, guys. We appreciate the continuing coverage. We appreciate the community and all their support. And again, I can't stress enough, anyone with information is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Thank you.
A lot of the fields are overgrown. You don't know where you're stepping, crossing fences. Never know what the next step holds. I keep coming back personally because I have a 4-year-old daughter, and she's exactly the same size, blonde hair, same size foot. And I can't just stop thinking, like, what if this was her? I would want people to be coming back, and just making sure that she comes back. So that's why I'm here.
There's been some subjects that I've been trying to sidestep because I just didn't feel like it was appropriate. But I think the TV news has already gone there, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to give your side of the story and explain. There's the situation that occurred in October, the domestic arrest, and then the order of protection that your wife filed, which she dismissed. I saw that. But, yeah. Would you like to address that and tell me from what happened there?
Well, I don't know. I would want to, but I mean, my intention.
You didn't plead to the domestic stuff. You pled to the possession of a gun while intoxicated. So the domestic stuff.
I mean, I've kept a black powder gun, the whole time I've been here because we do have bears, and I thought if there was an emergency situation, or one of my kids were being hurt or something, I would have quick access to it being locked up in my truck.
Right.
And I just forgot about the part that you can't have it in your vehicle. I can have one in my home, but not in my vehicle. And I just that part kind of slipped my mind,
I mean, and I wouldn't even ask you about this, but it's already out there now, and that's why I felt now's the time to maybe broach the subject, because if you don't address it, it's just going to get worse. Speculation is just going to get worse. The report pretty much states from the police perspective what happened. Is that pretty much how it happened from your point of view also?
And what's that?
I guess there was like there was a accusation.
Well, my wife was trying to make me jealous so I'd come back, and it worked very well. So I come across the country as fast as that little truck would go. I wanted to go to Utah, and I had a pretty good job there working in Park City and everything, and I wanted to move my family out there and sell the property, but I'm not the smartest guy in the world, and I've done everything the long way and everything. And and plus the cost of living in Utah is so sky high that it's just unbelievable. You can't even hardly find a house. When you do, it's so expensive. It's just unreal. I was glad to get back to Tennessee anyway. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happened out there. I was attacked in so many ways, like Satan himself was attacking me. And I'm really trying hard to, be a Christian, and stuff. So I got attacked in a lot of ways. And, so I was actually glad to get back.
So she wanted you to come home and was trying
yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
But there was kind of a confrontation, though, that when the police get involved, and it's up to the next level, I guess you say.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of them things,
And
she thought I was out there at Utah, and I was at my sister's house, and she was having a party, and I was trying to tell her that I was at my sister's house at this party, and me and my son Josie was getting some food, and I told her I need to go. And what I was trying to tell her was I need to go get in bed so I could drive to Park City that morning, because there was all kind of work out there, and they give me a good job out there. And what she heard was something totally different, where we are partying and getting drunk or whatever, and she heard Lynn's voice in the background. And she heard I got to go so I can continue partying, is what she heard.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the case. And I was, and I didn't elaborate a whole lot to her, so she thought she was thinking the worst. But actually, I was just trying to get in bed where I could go to work. And we was just getting some food and saying hello to my sister and everything like that, but she thought it was something totally different, and I understand that now. We didn't communicate as well as we should have,
When I asked the sheriff about all this stuff, he said it was not relevant to the investigation, but now that it's all coming out, I wanted you to be able to clear the air before.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Before there's going to be so much speculation, especially that order of protection. That was not. That wording was not good. It said she fears for her safety, her mother's safety, and the children's safety.
Yeah, there was so much confusion when I first got back. She was still thinking on them same lines, and I didn't know anything about that until we was able to sit down and talk about every little thing that had happened. Then we started figuring out, and I was able to explain to her that wasn't the case. And just like I'm telling you now, I mean, we discussed all this, and it was like, well, what? We was both thinking in totally different directions, and was able to figure it all out. And, but yeah, the order of protection, I mean, it was just a fight between me and her friends and her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew I had the black powder pistol and my crowbar, so they used that against me.
How long have you been married?
I'm not sure. It's been since Summer was a baby, I think.
Yeah.
Or, it's been so long ago. It was at a friend of mine's house, Mrs. Trent. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I'm not good with dates and everything like that.
When Summer was a baby, so probably 5 years or so. Well, here's another sticky one. The situation with your oldest son. And his previous criminal history, and his conviction as a sexual offender against children. That's a pretty big red flag, and I asked you about that the first time we spoke.
Yeah. Well, let me elaborate if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, if here in Tennessee, say for instance, your boy or one of your kids, is 17, and the one he's with, say he's 18 and she's 17 or something like that. Okay, in other states, especially like Utah, you're probably not going to ever get out of prison. I mean, but here in Tennessee, they look at there's got to be so many years difference between them. Okay, but in Arkansas where he was arrested, they don't care about that. But here in Tennessee, he would have never went to jail, and he would have got to raise his boy, and everything probably would have been fine. But in Arkansas, total different story. I mean, there's got to be a certain amount of years between them, and there was only 18 months, maybe a year, I don't know, between them.
Oh, was that a situation like she was like 16 or 17 and he was
yeah, like 18 or 19, and she was, it was only like 18 months difference.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That
they had a baby.
Look a lot worse then.
Yes, it does, and it's wrong. It is wrong. There's a lot of, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, see,
I'll even have him call you if you want me to, and he could probably explain it better to you.
Well,
he's a good kid.
When we spoke the first time, you said that you talked.
Yeah.
You said that you talked to him and that he was in Utah when this all happened.
No, they was in Arkansas.
Oh, he was in Arkansas when this all happened.
Yes, sir, and he done time in Arkansas State Prison.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I mean, when Summer went missing. When Summer went missing.
Yeah, he's in Utah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think the police have already alluded to this, but there's no connection between him and what happened this summer.
No way he would ever even think of something like this. I mean, when I first told him, he bawled like a little baby. My sisters all cried. And there's so many good Christian folks around here. I didn't even realize till this happened how many good people there are around here.
Well, do you want to talk about what happened to you in Utah? What your previous criminal history was?
I really don't want to talk about all that stuff. And, Utah's a whole different ballgame than Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Mormon state. I call it the moron state. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how I feel. I know there's a lot of good Christians. There's Mormons that are good Christians that are trying to be good Christians, but the whole Mormon thing, I stick strictly with the Bible. So if I don't agree with the Bible, then, and I'm not trying to put any Mormons down because I know there's a lot of good Christian folks in the Mormon church, and I just don't believe the Book of Mormon.
Well, what was your conviction for?
I've had, several charges over the years. I used to have, I don't know if I should elaborate on any of that, but I just.
Okay, it's your choice. I'm not gonna go.
It's not anything good. I never used to be. I wasn't really a Christian when I was younger, and I found God in prison. I started studying the Bible intently because I wanted to change, and that's when I got to know God and became a real trying hard to be a Christian. Of course, I've backslid multiple times, but I'll never let it happen again. I promise you that.
Okay. Well, I'm only asking because I just want to give you an opportunity to clear the airs, and I think it's, as this goes longer and longer, the reporters are going to need more things to write about or do on their and so eventually this is going to come around. So I would just wanted to give you a chance to get ahead of it. Head it off at the past. I can understand how a person isn't the same person they were when they're in their 20s, but it's gonna come out eventually the longer this goes on. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to get ahead of it, if you wanted to.
Okay.
And so this is your opportunity.
Okay.
Is that all? So is that all that you wanted to say about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right. And believe me, it don't give me no pleasure to talk about this because as far as I'm concerned, you're the victim, your wife's the victim, your kids are the victims. But it's not going to this isn't going to be brushed over at this point, I don't think.
Right. No, not at all.
So I know that and it's going to be discussed and going to be the topic of discussion.
Yeah, you know, people can speculate all they want. That's fine. You know, we just want our summer back. She was definitely, I consider it a great blessing from God. When I got her, she was a daddy's girl. She wouldn't even go to her mother for the first year, and it just kind of broke her heart. But I've never seen anything like that in my life, and I never expected anything like that. And you know,
there's always a connection between a father and a daughter that's special.
Yeah. I've just never seen nothing like this, and I don't know why she was like that exactly. But I mean, she's got her little friends too, you know, younger boys that she wants to be with them all the time, you know, and stuff. And, you know, and I knew, you know, someday she's gonna grow up and get married and go on, you know, raise her own family. But now I just don't know what's. I have no idea where she's at. And he's got her.
I know it's a nightmare. And I didn't want to have to broach these subjects, but I knew that it's coming. It's coming eventually. You're going to be asked.
She has such a good, loving, kind heart. She just, you know, she's so loving. I mean, it's like God sent her an angel.
Well,
it hurts so bad.
Has there been any developments at home or in the search overnight, or since we spoke?
Not a trace.
Yeah.
Not a trace.
It's like a living nightmare.
Yes, sir. It is. It really is.
Okay.
The first couple of days, I kept thinking I might wake up and it would be a nightmare, but it is a living nightmare. It's a real nightmare.
You still working? Did you get back to work?
This is the second day I've been back to work and I ain't got much done at all. I just can't think. I can't concentrate. I don't know where I'm at. I wish I wouldn't have even took on another house at this point, but I don't know. I just hope my bosses will be, I'm sure that they're sympathetic. I mean, I'm sure.
Did you see the someone had posted a reward for information?
I didn't.
A fellow from Kingsport. It should be online. On the Kingsport Facebook page, you can find it. But a fellow from Kingsport has offered a $25,000 reward for anybody that provides information.
I thank him from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I better let you get back to work tonight. I really appreciate you talking to me, and
I appreciate
I know
you.
It's not an easy subject. Not an easy subject to discuss.
It's not, but I thank you, sir. I really do.
All right, this is the first day I've been up here when the Ben Hill Road wasn't blocked by law enforcement. So I came up. This is the driveway to the Wells residence, and I'm not going to go up that driveway right now because they're not expecting me, and that would be rude. But I just wanted to kind of show what this road looks like. So that was 110 Ben Hill Road heading towards Beach Creek, and you can see this is a narrow, winding, very dense overgrowth all throughout this neighborhood, and it's not too far up here to the intersection, Beach Creek Road. So I thought that might be interesting to show, since this road's not been open since I've been covering this story.
Good afternoon. I'm Leslie Earhart with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. The status is the same as it was on Monday when we last held a media briefing. We're still trying to find Summer. It's now been 1 week and 2 days since she went missing. There's still two aspects of this case: the active search and the investigation. You'll hear more about the search in just a minute. TBI agents and Hawkins County detectives working alongside the FBI continue to work around the clock to determine what happened to Summer Wells. In order to preserve the integrity of the investigation, we can't discuss everything we're doing and have done to find Summer. Here's what we can tell you. Numerous residents and individuals associated with the family have been interviewed. Surveillance video and photos have been reviewed, as well as other potential digital evidence. We're still working to identify everyone in the area on the afternoon that Summer went missing. One of you asked us in a previous briefing the standard amount of time it takes for a case like this to be resolved. While every case is different, this one is definitely outside of the norm. Typically, in an investigation like this one, we have some idea of where the case is headed and what might have happened within a few days. In this situation, despite doing everything within our power and exploring all avenues, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance remain unclear. I understand the lack of answers frustrates you in public, but trust me, no one is more frustrated than we are. If we develop information that will lead to locating Summer, we will share that with you first and foremost. In the meantime, we ask anyone with information who hasn't come forward to please call 1-800-TBI-5. I'll turn it over to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson.
Thank you. Just to go along with Leslie, I know there's a lot of social media going on out there, a lot of detectives going on, but they're absolutely useless unless these people that's 100% positive calls 1-800-TBI-5. It means nothing. We're monitoring all social media and everything that you all put out from people that you all interview. And I assure you, you'd have to work very hard to find somebody that we have to talk to. They may not tell you. One point I want to make clear up, obviously, is a couple of days ago, I asked for the public not to help us in our search in the woods and stuff. That is because we know where every searcher is, where every team is, and the captain and his staff, they're tracking everyone. So if we get the general public in the woods, we don't know about it, and they're going to get missed when they go home. Information and resources to find. What I did ask for, and I still need, is all the people in Upper Beach Creek, Hawkins, and Sullivan County to search their property again and again. You got to look for a small child. You have to look for evidence that the small child's been. And if you got field cameras, you got security cameras, we need you to check those again. Just keep checking and checking. We're trying to find every vehicle that's in this holler they're living since we started this. And we also did a roadblock, which helped at the same time that she was reported missing, to see if we come in contact with somebody that's been working that we could see. Obviously, there's nothing came out of that, but it's just another tool that we've used to make this happen. So, if the general public that lives in this area will go back and search their outbuildings, their barns, their hay fields. That's mowing season, so when they mow, they need to pay attention. And if you have a resident that cannot search their property themselves, they'll call my office at 423-272-4848. I will send an officer to your residence to search your property for you. It's a cooperation we must need. I know some of the residents probably getting frustrated with seeing the officers, but as the captain will tell you, we've had very intense operations all week long for 9 days now. And we're not done yet because, like I told you from day one, it's about finding Summer. That's the number one goal here. Yep.
Thanks, Sheriff. As of June 24th, 2021, search and rescue efforts for missing 5-year-old Summer Wells continues. We have now utilized 106 agencies spanning from Tennessee, Ohio, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina assisting in these search efforts. Numerous specialized search and rescue groups with numerous canine teams have been represented from each of these agencies. To date, we have covered over 4.6 square miles, with that being over 3,000 acres being searched since Tuesday night when she was reported missing. The rugged mountainous terrain continues to cause problems. This has slowed search operations down in these areas, but please be rest assured, while incurring these conditions, we are still searching with an aggressive approach with extreme attention to detail. These terrains and conditions have exhausted crews both physically and mentally. We are still utilizing local and regional resources, but have had to call upon and utilize resources from Middle and West Tennessee, along with out-of-state resources, to bring a fresh set of eyes and rested bodies into the search operations. Search efforts will continue on a more specialized team basis throughout the rest of the week. Just because you may not see us in such a large presence, once again, rest assured, we are still out here searching for Summer Wells. We will continue to work with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, TBI, and FBI until we find Summer Wells. As mentioned before, as Sheriff here mentioned, please continue to search your personal property. Sullivan County, Hawkins County, mainly the Beach Creek community, and even if you branch a little bit further, please search. And I've been telling these searchers here the last several days, when you're looking for this property, you're not looking for an adult laying there. You're not looking for an adult hiding in the building. We're looking for a 5-year-old girl that weighed approximately 40 pounds. Somebody that size could wad up, could hide in an area that a legal size piece of paper or a folded up laptop could go. This is also the reason why we are exhausting all efforts. This training, as you can see behind us, guys, is only a small, very small percentage of what these guys day in and day out are going through. I've had multiple of my guys come up to me and tell me, Captain, I'll go to the end, but I'm tired. I am physically and I'm mentally tired. We are all one team, and we will not quit until we find Summer Wells. Thank you.
We'll take a few questions.
Have you searched some of these areas over and over again numerous times, some of these hills and things like that?
Absolutely. Captain, can you answer that question?
Yes, so over these 4.6 square miles, and I'll kind of elaborate on some of these specialized teams. There's some of these areas, guys, we have covered 4, 5, and 6 times. And we have community members, media outlets reaching out going, well, we have neighbors saying you're covering the same ground. We are. New ground, same ground, different eyes, fresh bodies. Guys, one flat looking field, there's 100 places something to be hid, evidence, and or she can be hid. So yes, we have covered multiple ground multiple times, and we'll continue to do so.
Captain Coop, I know some reward has been talked about. I know your agency, Churchill Rescue Squad, is apparently in charge of that. Can you give us some details on what a reward looks like right now?
Yes, so there has been some people that have reached out to our agency, reached out to TBI and Sheriff's Department about providing reward money for information leading up to the finding and or recovery of Summer Wells. At this time, I can confirm that is correct and that our agency is working to get this account set up. Once this information is available, our agency will provide a media release with this information on how the general public can also give money for this. But at the same point in time, guys, we're running on limited resources, and we're trying everything we can do that without interfering with the search for Summer Wells.
Leslie, at this point in the search and investigation, do you believe Summer Wells is still alive?
We hope so, but honestly, we just don't know. I mean, we're holding out hope, doing everything we can. Obviously, we typically would have found a child at this stage in the investigation, so honestly, we just don't know.
How many tips has the TBI received?
I don't have the exact number with me, but it's well over 300 at this point.
I know we've all spoken with the family, and they've talked about sort of what led up to that missing incident here. Can you just sort of elaborate on what you guys know for sure happened before she went missing that Tuesday night?
We can't release any more than what we've already provided. We know that she was supposedly with family members outside of her home, was seen going into the home. When her mother went to check on her, she was not in the house.
Sheriff, I know you mentioned before that you haven't had to obtain any search warrants. Is that still the case?
My office has not obtained any search warrants, and I really don't know if the other agencies has. I've been coordinating with the captain here and the investigators. They're all working together, and we haven't briefed each other this afternoon.
What about lie detector tests? Has anybody been given those?
I think the rest of this.
Well, it's no secret that the TBI has a polygraph unit. We don't discuss specifics, but I can tell you that we use that as an investigative tool. In a situation like this, we're going to use every resource and tool available to us.
There's been billboards seen at Myrtle Beach. Are you guys aware of that? Has the search taken you guys even out of state to some extent?
We follow up on all leads that come in, even if they're out of state. We have received some tips from other states, but they didn't prove to be credible leads. We are aware of the billboards. That's not something the TBI coordinates, but we appreciate the effort.
Leslie, are cadaver dogs being used as part of the K-9 team being brought in?
Absolutely, yes.
No law enforcement outside of the house today. Any reason for that?
There's no reason. We have had agents and officers to just touch base with the family on a daily basis. So they were there earlier. The family continues to cooperate at this time. If we have questions, they answer our questions. If we need them to come to the command post to clarify some information, they respond. So they've been very cooperative.
Speaking of the command post, we have noticed some larger FBI presence as well, including like an FBI, I believe it's called a card team. Could you just elaborate a little bit on their role in this investigation? What do they do?
They're just another resource available. Now, I would refer you to the FBI for specifics on what that team does, but they specialize in missing children cases. And again, we're using all resources available. They've been here since last weekend, and we were in communication with them before last weekend. So it's just another resource, and we're grateful for any help we can get.
Leslie, now on day 10, do you guys feel like you have more information, better informed than you did on day 1 Tuesday night?
We don't. We still don't know where Summer is. We don't know what happened to her, and it's extremely frustrating. I can't tell you how heartbreaking it is. The sheriff has worked around the clock. His team has worked around the clock. The search crews, TBI agents, FBI agents, we're doing everything we can to find her. But to not have any more answers than we do at this stage, it's just heartbreaking.
Have you been able to narrow down the timeline any more than when she went missing?
Not any more than what we originally released. We know that her family reported her missing. They called the sheriff's office around 6:30. Prior to that, it was early afternoon when she was last seen. And they searched for a little bit and then reported her missing.
How many hours would you say?
I don't have that information.
Question for Captain or Sheriff: what's the biggest obstacle standing in your way? Is it the heat? Is it just the fatigue? Is it the terrain? What do you think is the number one thing that's hurting you guys in this investigation?
To say hurt this investigation on my aspect of things, nothing's hurting us. We encounter difficult situations so far, and we overcome those situations. From here on out, it is going to be providing our team the rest and assurance to make sure that we can provide more and more fresh bodies, fresh eyes, and be able to come in and help search for Summer Webb.
I don't see that every day.
As far as my office, it's been pretty hard because my office don't stop. We're still answering calls, still doing investigation, come in, and we're still running the jail, and I'm alternating the officers out. Like's been said, everyone, the command post been there this week, everyone now is getting mentally, physically, and emotionally strained. And we're going to have to rehab and start back again. But, we're not going to stop, we're going to find something.
Is there anything the community can do to help you guys at this point? I know that everyone's been bringing food and water and stuff like that. Is there anything else that you guys need?
Actually, I think they've done everything they possibly could. We've even get fresh home-cooked meals from churches and things brought in. And we have meals for all the officers and searchers and investigators, but enormous outpour of support shown by this community and actually people here in East Tennessee. We're very pleased.
Hey guys, thank you for coming out. I know a couple of you had questions asking why we're not having daily media briefings. The simple answer is we just haven't had any new information to provide. But just because we don't have a briefing doesn't mean that you can't reach out to us and ask any questions you may have. And of course, we are going to continue to post updates on Twitter and the TBI Facebook page. And feel free to check with us if you have any additional questions or need clarification. Thank you. Take care.
And we overcome those situations. From here on out, it is going to be providing our team the rest and assurance to make sure that we can provide more and more fresh bodies, fresh eyes to be able to come in and help search for summer whales.
I don't see that every day.
As far as my office, it's been pretty hard because my office don't stop. We're still answering calls, still doing investigation, come in, and we're still running the jail. I'm alternating the officers out.
I'm not spooking them, man. Am I? Did y'all figure out what we're at? We were all at that press conference up there, and out of the blue, here comes a horse running down the road.
Last time when we coming down, I'm 4 miles out there over 2 guys on the sled.
Yeah. Any idea where he came from or anything? Are y'all gonna try to hold on to him? Oh. Yeah.
I say they're down on the side of the road.
Somebody will be missing that horse for sure. I reckon they'll come looking for him.
Should be out on the road with his feet anyhow like that.
Yeah.
Can't blame the horse.
Yeah. It's yep. All right. Well, I'm glad he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, me too.
Appreciate it.
I guess we're coming up on a very sad milestone tomorrow, with being the 4th week. Basically a month since summer went missing, and I just wanted to check in with you all and see if there had been any new developments or anything had changed.
Nothing.
No.
It's real discouraging. Only God can turn this around at this point. That's it.
How is your family coping?
No, my wife ain't doing too good. She's not doing too good at all. She's pretty upset.
I can imagine. Is she needing help or anything, or?
No, just kind of some anger issues, and and all this stuff on social media is just.
I know that's out of line. That stuff's out of line, way out of line.
Yeah.
How are your kids doing?
They're coping with it okay. They're doing okay. I'm upset. I've just made the decision. I made up my mind not to let Satan win.
Mm-hmm. How do you do that? What steps do you take personally?
To not let Satan win?
Yeah.
Not let him get down. Not to, I could be down and not go back to work and let it affect me in every way, but I can't do that.
Well, you still got a family to raise also, I guess, too, don't you?
So I still got to move forward. I still got to go to work. I still got to try, even though I miss her and wish to God it was a way, but we live in an evil world. I ain't the first one, to lose a family member, or all kind of tragedies been happening since the beginning of this our creation. There's been all kind of bad stuff going on. It does seem kind of like a bad dream or whatever. Yeah, it does. And my memories of the summer and everything, that's what kills me, because we had such a great love for each other. She loved me, and I don't know why I've never had someone love me that much in my life. And so it's been awesome, between me and her. And so it's killed me since she's been gone. It's just, at first, was just so horrific knowing that someone abducted her and the cops are looking all around her house, knowing that she's not there. You know, it's like it's like you just talking to yourself. You know, this ain't doing no good. But you know, I wish the police would have blocked off both ends of Beach Creek and everything else and kept it contained in our area, because I'm sure she's hundreds of miles away. You know, I can't blame them or whatever, but I'm upset. I'm really upset, you know. But it's too little, too late now.
I guess this is probably, I don't know if this is something that has been on in your family's mind, but you've got to kind of move on with the business of living. And I guess one of the things is your kids have to go back to school. And I was wondering if you all had given any thought to that, and if that's going to be if that's something that's going to be hard to do, to take them back to school.
Well, I mean, I don't know why, but they're dealing with it okay more than me, and they're doing a lot better than me and Candace are. Not why that is, but I don't know. Because when I was in school, one of my guys, that one of the kids that was in school with us, bought his son a shotgun, and somehow it accidentally went off and killed his dad right in front of him. And we never did see that kid back in school again, but that was his daddy, though. There's a difference, you know, I guess. But I mean, maybe my kids are looking at it like, well, maybe God will bring her back, or I don't know. But statistically speaking, I mean, there's a good chance she's already dead if you look at it statistically. And I hate to think that. I love her with all my heart, but only God, you know, if nothing else, you know, I'll see her in the resurrection. As long as I keep the commandments and I do what I'm supposed to do, I'll see her in the commandments. If that's the case, you know. In the resurrection.
So is it going to be just kind of back to business when school starts and the kids are going to go back?
Yeah, we ain't got a choice. We don't have a choice, you know.
I was just wondering if there was maybe any kind of fear or concern just to let them out of your sight after.
Well, yeah, definitely. We was sending them down, you know, to the school bus by themselves, you know, but I don't think we'll ever do that again.
Do they get picked up at the end of your road there on Beach Creek?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, you're back to work, and the kids are going back to school. So it seems like there's no choice but to try to return to some sort of normalcy within this horrible event.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to let Satan convince me to go drinking or whatever. You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going down that road. I choose life. Choose God. You know, and that's probably, you know, I've never, you know, before in my life I was weaker, and just the least little thing would be the excuse to go get drunk or whatever, you know, but not no more. Not. And this is the most horrific thing that I could have ever even thought of happening.
Has your theory about what happened to Summer changed any since we spoke a couple weeks ago?
No, she was abducted. There's, you know, I forget how you put that, reasonable deduction, or however you say that. You're talking school, you know, but by that theory there, yeah, she's been abducted in my mind, 100%. I know Candace wouldn't lie to me about any of the facts. She has no reason to, you know. I mean, she wouldn't lie.
And I think somebody said, or you told the media that she was lie detected one also. And, that you all were cleared of any suspicion that was, you know, based on that.
Well, I don't know if we were completely cleared because that's not admissible in court.
Yeah.
But yeah, we both. I mean, at first, you know, I didn't get no sleep for 2 days. I couldn't sleep. I was, you know, it was the worst misery and pain I've ever felt in my life. But I wasn't able to take a lie detector test. They made me wait a little bit, but when I did take it, I passed.
Mm-hmm.
They made Candace wait 5 days longer to take hers, you know, because she just wasn't able to. She tried and she wasn't able to. It's not, you know, people are saying that we failed and we took another test. That's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
We just weren't able to. So when we did take them, we both passed, you know, our tests.
I imagine that if it measures changes in your blood pressure or something based on if you tell a lie, your blood pressure changes. But if you're tore all to pieces, then your blood pressure is probably changing anyways.
Well, the way it works is kind of it measures your brain's activity too. And whenever you lie, you have to think about that lie. When you stick with the truth, it just comes out. You know, the truth is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But when you lie, you got to think about that for a little bit. And your heart might jump just a little bit or whatever. You know, they look at all that. Yeah.
So, do you?
It's easy to tell the truth. Put it that way.
Yeah.
You know.
So did they? I know this is a hard question to ask, but did they ever do any question of your sons also, or any kind of?
Yeah, they've taken them into specialists because they can't come out and question them. But yes, they have questioned all of them.
Mm-hmm.
They even give mother-in-law lie detector tests.
Oh wow!
And she also passed.
Okay. So this, I mean, I didn't go up to your house when they took the roadblock down. I didn't want to just bust up there and uninvited, but I did go to the end of your driveway and look up. And I mean that for somebody to go up there and not knowing what they're going to find, it seems highly unlikely because that's straight up, and you can't see where you're going. You don't know what's ahead of you. And
we've had several people sneaking around there though, and we've had them sneak around at night, in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
we've never had somebody up there at 5:30 in the afternoon that we know of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't come up the driveway; they come up a dog trail from the woods.
Oh, okay.
They didn't come up the driveway, and that dog that they used, that's where the scent took them, was down through the woods, not the driveway.
Where did the dog scent end?
At the road, Ben Hill Road is where the dog scent ended.
Oh man.
Yep. So that right there, you know, I already knew all that, but that there just confirmed it for me.
Yeah. Do you still believe that? Do you believe that she's still alive? Do you have any intuition that she might still be out there somewhere?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
All I know is, you know, I believe in God. I don't believe in any psychic stuff.
Oh man, that stuff's horrible that they've had on. I've seen it on YouTube. That's terrible. Why would somebody? That's the morals of a person that would put that out there. What they've been saying.
We had somebody made a fake account with me, and then they put on there to some other woman that I buried her body at the lake. And so the TBI has been out the lake. They couldn't get a hold of me because I was in church, but they've been out there looking for her body. It's just ridiculous what people are doing, and they're going with these psychics and what they're saying and doing whatever they can to get their story out there. But the Bible says clearly it's an abomination.
Right.
Because when you do a psychic and you're talking, you know, to your dead relatives or whatever, that's untrue because Jesus made it clear that when you die, you sleep until the resurrection. You are in no conscious state whatsoever. You are just unconscious, asleep, as Jesus put it, until the resurrection. So if you're talking to somebody, it's an evil spirit.
let me ask you this: is there anything that your family needs? Like, is there anything that the community can do aside from tipsters and things like that and information? But is there anything that you people in your family need that the community can help
the
you
only
out?
thing that I think we're good on everything. The only thing that I wish is, as a country that, and the way these kids are coming up missing left and right, and all the drugs, man, we need to send our military into our own country. That's my opinion. We send our military everywhere in the world to fight terrorism. Well, I think it's time we turn them into our own country to fight terrorism. They can't seem to catch these guys nowhere. We need our military.
Mm-hmm.
Put them to some good use. I mean, that's what I wished.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know you're on break, and I probably need to let you get back to work. I was wondering, do you think Mrs. Wells would want to meet and talk any more about how things are going? Is she up to that?
Right now, she's so tore up and stuff. It's just getting worse for her. Yeah. I mean, it is, and it's bad for me too. I'd do anything to have my baby back, but I got to put my faith in God. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I would have lost it a long time ago. I mean, I got to pray to Him and pray that she's okay, that He'll pull her through with His mighty right arm, with His might, whatever. But something like God, because the police can't come up with nothing. Now, all these people on Facebook all over the world can't come up with nothing. Nobody can. Only God can.
Right. This is, in 30 years, I've never seen anything like this happen.
Me either. I mean, I've never seen anything in my life. I mean, when I lived in Houston, Texas, when I was a kid, it was pretty bad out that way, but all kind of crazy stuff out there. But
there was never somebody that just disappeared without a clue that I know of. I'm sure it happens, but not that I've ever seen in my life.
Well, when there's an abduction, I mean, what else would you call it?
Yeah.
Disappearing. I don't understand that. But yeah, if somebody was either hiding in the weeds there, waiting for either come in the basement. But yeah, I mean, we weren't 30 feet. They weren't 30 feet away when she got gone. Yeah. I mean, maybe 40 at the most.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
So somebody from God.
Well, I sure appreciate you talking to me. I didn't want to call too much and be a pest. But after it's been a couple of weeks, I wanted to check back in with you.
Okay, so I appreciate you.
Okay. All right. Take care. I'll be praying for you.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You too. Thank you. Bye.
lies, lies, and more lies, and lies on top of lies.
Everything about you.
Not knowing where your child is, how they're being treated.
It was not my last thought that first day. It wasn't even my last thought in the first 5 minutes, quite frankly. It was
Okay, can you guys hear me? I think I figured it out. Thank you all for being here and watching that with me. I know I didn't have any idea it was that long. And I think I'm gonna have to get a better computer. For some reason, I can't get it to play YouTube video. Are y'all doing okay? Let me see. I figured out how to put a picture on here. Yay. Alright, I'm gonna go through. So what did y'all think about all that? Did anybody get anything new? I saw a couple of things I've wrote down that I didn't know before. It always helps going back and listening, knowing what we know now, right? Different feelings 14 months later. Cat's eye, catch me outside. How about that? It's so good to see you all. I'll try to get this figured out and get a better thing going on the computer so I can get it to stream better. I've got really good Wi-Fi, but my computer was running slow the whole time. That's why I kept asking in the beginning if it was lagging any. But I'm wanting to learn how I can like put the video up and pause it and do like commentary. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your support. Thank you most of all for loving Summer and being here for Summer and not giving up. I know 14 months is a long time, and I know that we are all tired, so tired, and we want Summer found. We want answers. I just think it's really important to go back and look in the beginning. I think that Miss Jody Sue has distracted a lot, and what if she's not even relevant, you know? I don't know anymore. I just don't know. But I wish more locals would come out, Kathy says. On Jody Sue. Me too, Kathy. I would love to get Polly to interview. I would love to hear that. Love it. I would love to hear her opinion. I think that would be great. Yes, I'm going to have to ask somebody that knows about StreamYard. Nobody can, they're going to have to like call me and walk me through this. It's harder than it seems. It really is. But I appreciate you all sticking with me and staying, and I just want to get this video out there. I know that it's way down in the algorithm, and it needs to be brought back out. This is really important interviews that was done. I know many people haven't even heard the interviews by Jeff Bobo, and he was really the first one to interview Dawn. I think it's really important, but I'm going to figure out how to close this thing out and let you all go. I'll see you on the flip side. I love each and every one of you with all my heart. Thank you so much for being here for Summer, and please don't give up. Please don't stop. Stop thinking about her, praying for her. I mean, just don't let Jody Sue fry your brain. Watch her on incognito. No views given. That's very important. Record her if you can. You know how she likes to dirty delete everything. But I love you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. Much love, TT. Never giving up. Thank you, Marcy, Carrie, Cat's Eye, Sassmare, Kathy, Liplock, Carrie, McBro, Cat's Eye, Aurora. Aurora, I haven't seen you. I miss you. Lisa 54, thank you so much. And Crimes, I haven't seen her lately. Thank everybody. Rocky Top, thank everybody for being here. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the streets. Be good.